And we got showers that were over our heads earlier on, and as they move along here, there they go, pushing off to the north and east, they're pretty much out of the viewing area. There are some more showers in northeast Alabama that could move our way a little later on, but for the next few hours they're going to be high and dry. You can see a little break in that rain over Mississippi. There's a lot more rain, and some of that could come scooting our way, but the heaviest stuff has been well down to the south of us, south of Montgomery, all the way down to the Gulf Coast, so that's where the big action is. Now, the rapid refresh model showing, this is a short-term computer model that shows, again, that rain moving in maybe around 8 o'clock tonight south of the city. Some of it may get a little bit closer to us, that area in yellow from Fort Payne to just about Dalton at 10 o'clock tonight, and then pushing off towards the north and the east, and then fading out overnight. So a little bit of rain left over, mainly over North Georgia for tonight. By tomorrow, though, good news, the sun should be coming back into the afternoon, and the threat of any rain, even in the morning, is very slim now for most of the Tennessee Valley. I've got all the details on the next 7 days coming up.
Paul, thank you. New at 6, the driver of one of the 3 school buses involved in Thursday's crash in Georgia has been cited by police.
Trenton police say the driver of the 3rd bus involved in this crash, bus number 4-1, was cited for following too closely. 7 students and 2 drivers required treatment after the crash on Highway 11 in Trenton, right in front of Ingles Supermarket. Channel 3's Michelle Herron takes a look at the damage and tells us what will happen next.
The 3 Dade County school buses involved in Thursday's crash now sit here, out of service. It's up to investigators with Georgia's Department of Education to figure out if it was the buses or the drivers that may have been at fault. The routine resumed Friday morning at Dade County High School, while buses 4-1, 11-1, and 7-1 sat in the transportation yard nearby, waiting for state investigators to arrive. Superintendent Dr. Jan Harris says 7 students and 2 drivers were treated Thursday after a chain reaction crash at this intersection damaged 3 buses.
The first bus stopped, and the second bus stopped, and the third bus ran into the second one, which made the second bus run into the first bus.
Students reported feeling sore and stiff after the crash. One student was treated by a dentist for a broken tooth. A driver was treated for a possible broken rib. Despite the injuries, Harris is thankful the crash wasn't worse.
Buses can be replaced, windshields can be repaired, but our students, they are just our precious angels.
It's unclear how much it'll cost to fix the buses. It appears the last bus, number 4-1, suffered the worst damage with a shattered windshield and damaged lights. Georgia law requires school buses to be inspected every 20 days. Channel 3 checked and found records show the buses were inspected last month and deemed safe for the road. It's not clear if the crash was due to bus or driver error. That will be decided by state investigators. After the state wraps up its investigation, it will be up to Dr. Harris to decide if disciplinary action will be taken against any of those drivers involved. For now, the school system is using spare buses and drivers to cover those routes. Reporting in Dade County, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And we will continue to investigate this story. We have requested the driving and complaint records for each of the drivers as well as the buses they operate. And when we learn more, we'll pass it along to you.
A photo of a deceased veteran at a funeral home is going viral.
And in the photo, you can see the veteran lying on a table, a gurney perhaps, in an open room. And that image has upset many people. Channel 3's Tanisha Cordell is live from the funeral home with their response. Actually, she's live at National Cemetery with a response to this photograph. Tanisha.
Well, David, just a few hours ago, George Luther Taylor was laid to rest here at the National Cemetery in Chattanooga. But it's that picture you just described of the 71-year-old lying on a gurney draped in an American flag that is upsetting a lot of family members. Yesterday, the family arrived at Heritage Home in funeral home in Fort Oglethorpe for a private viewing. They took this picture of their loved one draped in an American flag lying on a gurney. James Leon Taylor, the veteran's son, says Heritage Funeral Home told him his father could not be put in a casket and buried after problems with their insurance. But after further conversations with the funeral home and a phone call from Chattanooga's National Cemetery staff, a proper burial was given.
It relieves me, but it still broke my heart that my dad had to lay in there and have to probably go through that if nothing was done.
Now, the managing director at Heritage Funeral Home explained to us off camera that usually when a family is unable to pay for services up front, they're directed to local organizations to help with for financial support, rather. Now, we pushed for more answers on the funeral home's policy, but have not heard back yet. For now, live in Chattanooga, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Tanisha. Police are investigating a shooting involving a sheriff's deputy in Whitfield County. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning in Dalton. Police responded to a home to check on a man who was reportedly acting paranoid, and it was reported he had a machete and a hammer. The man's wife told deputies her husband is bipolar and was off his medication. After the man refused to drop the object that he was waving, they fired a gunshot, and he was hit in the shoulder. He is expected to recover. Meanwhile, the GBI is helping with this investigation.
Charges have not been filed in connection with an alleged sexual assault case in Whitwell Middle School. Police are investigating a 6th grade boy after the incident, which actually happened at a space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. Staff members called the director of schools, Dr. Mark Griffith, when they learned 2 6th grade boys may have been assaulted by a classmate. He says the incident started as horseplay but led to inappropriate touching. School counselors were sent to Huntsville to be there for the 2 victims.
An 18-year-old Ridgeland High School senior was arrested for making fake terroristic threats. Police say Annabelle Herbert called the school on Wednesday 3 separate times, saying that a bomb would go off at a certain time. Officials searched but did not find any bomb, and then were able to determine the suspect was this student. She's been charged with terroristic threats, dissemination of information relating to terroristic acts, and disrupting public schools. Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6, we may be out of a drought, but how has that wet weather affected strawberry season?
I think it's affected our berry size, so you typically want a dry season for a berry crop.
We'll tell you how they're gearing up for this weekend's Strawberry Festival up next, and we'll find out how they taste.
Looking pretty good for the Strawberry Festival. Anything else you want to do out there, especially Sunday? Sunday's looking like a fantastic day. Got all the details, even in the next week, on my 7-day forecast.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
We love all the festivals this time of year, and it's important in Dayton as the 70th Tennessee Strawberry Festival is this weekend. They've had to scramble because a major strawberry supplier isn't taking part this year.
Remember when the veggie lady always visited Tidwell's Berry Farm? Well, they're not able to take part, but they're still going to have strawberries this year. The event earns the city a lot of revenue, but this depends a lot on successful crops. Channel 3's Nick Austin tried out a few of the goodies in Dayton. Here's Nick.
Weather not only affects the overall size of the harvest, but also the size and flavor of the berries. The Strawberry Festival is a perfect place to find out how local crops turn out this year. For more than 30 years, Tidwell Farm has supplied most of the strawberries for the Tennessee Strawberry Festival. For this year's celebration, the owners are taking a break according to their Facebook page. This puts the pressure on other local growers like Nathan Lorenzen. Last year's drought didn't do much damage since he irrigates, but this year the heavy spring rains have been a problem.
But I think it's affected our berry size, so you typically want a dry season for a berry crop.
They're almost half the normal size, but Lorenzen says they still taste great. He sold out Friday morning in just a couple of hours.
Yeah, they're like candy. Yeah.
The harvest at Flat Top Mountain Farm came up just a little short, but has some larger berries in the mix.
The warm winter that we had, we actually came in earlier than we ever have before. May 1st is usually about when we can expect to come in.
Co-owner Diane Hughes says she and her husband began picking around April 20th. Scott's Farm from Northeast Tennessee is here to fill in the gaps if supplies run low. But people at the festival don't seem to be worried and are enjoying the scrumptious treats.
Actually, they were delicious. We had the chocolate-covered cherries on this, strawberries on the stick, and they were very good.
Danny Pryor has been coming here for many years, making the drive from Meigs County.
The strawberries brought us over here. Me and my wife, we love strawberries, so we knew they were going to be here, the chocolate strawberries. If I had more than this, I had to share some of them with my wife, but they're very good.
The main difference between this year's festival and those of years past is that all of the farmers are selling their fresh strawberries here in the parking lot of the Chamber of Commerce instead of Court Square. Saturday is the last day of the festival. It runs from 9 a.m. until dark with a parade at 1 p.m. In Dayton, Nick Austin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Nick. Well, here's a traffic note for you. There's a bridge that will be replaced over the weekend on I-24 in Dade County, right around Wildwood, State Route 299. Starting tonight at 9 o'clock, you can expect delays as the crews work to replace that bridge. They have marked detours on the site, and that will continue on through Mother's Day weekend. Not necessarily good timing for many folks, but nevertheless, it goes on until Monday morning at 5. They say it'll all be done. If you have traffic concerns, visit our website or download our app, which is free for Androids and iPhones. And be careful.
Yeah. Coming up next at 6, Orchard Knob Middle School officials are talking about some recent tragedies involving students.
And they're trying to turn those tragedies into opportunities by helping these 6th, 7th, and 8th grade boys with a new outlook on life.
The school's programs, it's a great program. Keep us off the streets, keep us safe, and they make sure you have everything you need.
Find out more about the school's new approach when we come back. And Paul Barris will take a look outside, see those clouds. What is in store for us this weekend? We'll have the answer in a moment.
Chattanooga's Orchard Knob Middle School is on a mission to make some drastic changes. They believe in the Frederick Douglass quote, "It's easier to build a strong child than to repair a broken man."
And citing the deaths and suicide attempts of several students in recent years, Orchard Knob Middle is recruiting community members to change the mindset of its male students. Details in tonight's School Patrol report.
3 degrees later.
Principal Tiffany Irvin is more than just a principal at Orchard Knob Middle School. She was a student here, and she's passionate about redirecting the tragic journeys she sees in her students' lives.
When I hear a 6th grader or a 7th grader say that 8th grade promotion is their high school graduation, then that bothers me. They have many opportunities, and I tell them all the time, you have choices. You can choose to do what's right or what's wrong, to live a great life or to go a different direction.
She says many of her male students make poor choices because they feel life isn't worth living and that they will not live to see their high school graduation. For them, she says, 8th grade is the highest goal they seek to obtain because a high school diploma seems unreachable. That's why she organized the State of Our Boys Forum, spotlighting successful men who overcame obstacles to beat the odds.
We want our young men to see a variety of good men in different career fields.
Former NFL star Tony Brown says men who are willing to mentor can help Orchard Knob's boys avoid a life of despair.
You know what, to be honest with you, pull them to the side because sometimes they feel like they don't have anyone they can confide in. I think you just pull them to the side, try to get to the root of the situation before judgment is passed. And, I think that's the biggest thing to do is try to see what the problem is and try to get to the root of it and then try to correct it.
Orchard Knob's male students are suspended at a rate more than twice that of females. It's one of many challenges faced by a school that has been targeted by the state for possible takeover.
But I think that even the state has fully realized that it's not in anyone's best interest for us to just put our hands up and just walk away because they don't have the solutions either.
Officials say events like this prove that no one is ignoring the problem. Instead, they're showing the community and the state they're willing to help middle school boys who fear there may be no tomorrow.
It tears me up. I'm a mom and I have boys, and I can't imagine my children at the age of 12 not believing they ever have a future. And I think that really this scenario is the epitome and the true purpose of what we need to overcome as a school system.
And that's the challenge ahead. Today's forum is by no means a one-time event. Principal Tiffany Irvin calls it the first of many such endeavors and says the men who participated today made commitments to return to Orchard Knob Middle, even providing summertime activities for the male students.
A hearing has been moved again for a Ray County man accused in a Nashville murder. Daniel Clark was supposed to be in court today, but it was pushed back to next Thursday. Clark and 15-year-old Trinity Quinn are charged in connection with the shooting death of an Exxon gas station clerk in Nashville. The pair from Dayton ran off together last week. An Amber Alert was issued for Quinn. They were eventually captured in a wooded area in Bellevue. Both Quinn and Clark face criminal homicide charges. The state wants to try Quinn as an adult in the case. The process to transfer her case to adult court involves more hearings before a juvenile judge. The next one is set for May 16th. Now, time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris.
And Paul's going to let us know when we'll need that umbrella this weekend. Paul?
All right, we're looking outside right now in the Holiday Inn downtown, Cam, and it doesn't look pretty at all. Lots of clouds out there. Looks like it's about to start raining soon. But there's very little rain out there now. Most of the showers have shut off to the north and the east. There's some down to the south of us near Atlanta. A little bit of activity still south and west of northeast Alabama, out of not just north of Birmingham, but there's not that much out there right now. So again, most of the rain is out to the west of us, out over West Tennessee, over Mississippi, Arkansas still. The storm system is spinning out there. But what's happened is this little complex of storms south of Montgomery all the way into the Gulf of Mexico has robbed us of a lot of the moisture. So it's tough for that moisture to travel further north. So we're not going to see that much more rain. 71 in the city, 70 in Dalton, 66 Cleveland, 63 Athens, Dayton 68, 68 in Murphy, and also in Altamont. 80 and 71 the high and the low for today. And just had a little bit of rain, about 300s at the airport. 3/10 Lafayette, Dalton, 4/10 Farnell. 89 in Chatsworth, no rain there. Scottsboro had about 1/10 of an inch. A 1.1 though in Ooltewah, 4/10 East Ridge, 4/10 Ringgold, 3/10 Lookout Mountain, only 1/10 North Chattanooga and Trenton. And then further off to the north, Riceville had the most, about 1.4. South of Athens had about 1.5 inches of rain fell. At Sandra Russell's house, 8/10. She lives north of Athens. 2/10, 10 mile, about a 10th out in your Spring City, Dayton, and Pikeville too. 76 in Jasper, and into the 80s out near Murphy. This storm system is going to pull most of the rain off to the north and east for tomorrow. So by tomorrow afternoon, the sun comes back. Should be a pretty nice day. High pressure building in for Sunday. Mother's Day looks fantastic. Not so nice up to the north and east, but for us it's going to be great. And even into Monday, as that high pressure moves down to the south, air starts to come out of the south too, and that means it will start to warm up quite nicely into Tuesday and Wednesday. So for tonight, 61 with some showers, a chance for a thunderstorm, very slim. Tomorrow, 76 with some clearing. It'll be breezy and mild. Northerly winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow night, clear, cooler, and a light northerly wind. And on the Channel 3 Storm Alert 7-day forecast, Mother's Day looks great. 84, low humidity, a low of 55 Sunday morning. On Monday, we warm up, and we're going to keep warm all next week. Probably getting close to 90 on Tuesday and pretty close to 90 all week long. Chance for any rain slim. By next Friday, we may see a shower or two pop up in the afternoon.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. The Tennessee Titans rookie camp kicked off this afternoon.
Of course, Paul Shaheen made the trip to Nashville to catch up with a former Mock. Paul?
All smiles was Corey Levin, the former UTC All-American. We had a chance to talk to him after the second and final practice of the day. We're going to let you hear from head coach Mike Malarkey and Corey Levin straight ahead in sports as we will rejoin you live from Nashville.
UTC All-American Corey Levin got his first taste of the NFL today. The O-lineman reported to the Tennessee Titans rookie mini camp this afternoon in Nashville. Sports director Paul Shaheen also reported to camp and was able to catch up with the former Mock. Paul, your thoughts on Corey's first day?
Corey's first day at camp was a lot harder than my first day at camp. That is my professional analysis for you. The rain held off long enough to get practice in. Since then, it has picked up, but trust me, the gloomy weather has not dampened Corey Levin's day. Levin was one of 4 Tennessee Titans draft picks to sign his official contract before minicamp started today, and there are 53 players here at Tennessee's rookie minicamp and Nashville. 9 are draft picks. The rest are free agent signees or invited tryout players. Now, head coach Mike Mularkey said after practice he saw a lot of nervous energy on the day. Now, there were 2 practices today. The first was a walkthrough, and Corey agreed, saying he noticed it right away at this morning's walkthrough, which wasn't meant to be as intense as it was.
Feel pretty good. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of reps. You know, we had a walk through that pretty high tempo.
Well, they went a little faster, and within 3 plays, half of them were gassed, and I knew that was more from nerves than it was anything else. So I'm gonna tone it down again tomorrow.
I was kind of expecting them to throw a lot at us in the first day, and they did that. And you know, it's not too hard, it's not too tough, you know, it's about what I expected it to be. They know we can handle it, or else they wouldn't throw it at us and things like that. So that's what we're here to do, and we're doing it.
That was after the second practice is when we had a chance to talk to Corey Levin. He said he just got out of an ice bath. Said he slept okay last night. He's going to sleep a heck of a lot better tonight. They ended just a few minutes ago with their meetings. They're reporting back to the hotels after that. Have a snack. Lights out by 11. They're up again tomorrow to do it all over again. We learned a few things from Corey. All free agent signees and draft picks were given an iPad. If they lose it, they owe $12,500. And oh yeah, he's a lineman. We had to talk food. Corey says A+. He loves the food. OTAs start 1 week from next Monday. They wrap up the minicamp on Sunday. Live in Nashville at Titans rookie minicamp. I'm Paul Shaheen, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thanks so much, Paul. Hope you stay dry the rest of the day. Switching over now from Nashville to Smashville. The Predators begin their first ever Western Conference final tonight. Nashville has traveled to Anaheim, California to face the Ducks in round 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Games 1 and 2 are in Anaheim, and games 3 and 4 will be in Smashville next week. When the 2 teams met earlier during the regular season this year, it was pretty close to even. The Ducks won 2 of the 3 games, outscoring the Preds just 10-9 in those games. Game 1 is tonight, set for 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we'll have more tonight at 11.
Now, Jill, you're a California girl. Do you have any allegiance to the Anaheim Ducks here?
I'll be honest, I do. Ryan Getzloff used to live in our neighborhood, and he was very nice.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Preds.
Yeah, you grew up being a Duck fan,
I can't
right?
help it. My bad.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yes,
for sure.
it is.
And we appreciate you being here and hope you have a great weekend.
Oh, thank you.
Well, they managed to beat Paul's team, and they managed to beat the Blues, the team I grew up with. So I hope they beat the Ducks. No offense, Joe. Paul, what about tonight?
All right, tonight looks pretty good. Let's take a look at that evening out we've got for you. I guess we're done.
No, we're out
It'll
of time.
be all right, though.
My bad.
Okay. It's
Sorry.
okay.
1, 2, 3. I didn't even look to see if it's still on. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And I'll let you know if we're going to see any more rain before the sun returns.
$1,000 reward tonight after an abandoned dog was found starving in Chattanooga. The clues that could help solve the case and how a state law is working to prevent these crimes.
I'll let you know if we're going to see any more rain before the sun returns.
$1,000 reward tonight after an abandoned dog was found starving in Chattanooga. The clues that could help solve the case and how a state law is working to prevent these crimes.
And I'll let you know if we're going to see any more rain before the sun returns. My forecast for Mama's Day, too.